let's talk to the lady. I wonder if Miss Telwerger still needs my help cleaning her apartment. I hope I'm not too late to lend a hand. Then again, Dark F did mention I could work coat check tonight, and I could use the money. I'm gonna still help her. Who could that be? Hello, who's there? It's me, Tori. Oh, come right in. Hey, Miss Telwerger, I'm here to help clean up. Oh, you're a little late for that, Tori. It's alright, though. I managed to get it all done myself. Still, I'm very glad you came. You're such a good kid. Well, then, I guess you don't need me, then? I was just about to sit down to dinner. Would you care to join me? I was thinking of going to work coat check down at the club. I am pretty hungry, though. I will stay, because she seems like the type of old lady that would be like, you know, let me just pay for everything for you. So I'm gonna do it. What's for dinner? It's a fresh lamb stew. I can't eat that. I'm vegan. Okay, you're going to love it. Come and have a seat. We wouldn't want it getting cold. Sounds great. You won't believe. Gosh, she moves quick. She must have cleaned this house so fast. Okay, sounds great. You won't believe how hungry I am. Well, then there's plenty to eat, so don't you worry about it if you want seconds. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you say you were expecting guests earlier? Don't tell me I'm the only one who came. Oh, I never explained, did I? Tonight's my beloved Thomas's birthday. Every year we have a special little dinner get-together. I tidy up the house like he prefers and make his favorite meal, an old-fashioned stew. Oh, that sounds really nice. When's he coming? Oh, well, he's not exactly. Thomas was my husband, but he's not with us anymore. No, I'm so sorry. There's nothing to be sorry about, Tori. We had a wonderful life together, and he's still with me every day, in my heart. Yeah, but you were having fun this morning, Granny. Okay, I'm glad you're here, though. Sometimes today can make me a little emotional. It'll be nice having someone else to talk to for a change. That man better have not thrown away my pizza buckets. Salad? Hush, it's good for your digestion. You'll get your stew afterwards. Appetizer. I'm so glad you decided to join me. It's nice to have young company for a change. Yeah, but you had young company this morning. Okay. You can go ahead and hide it. Oh, it's no trouble at all. It was my pleasure. It's my pleasure, really. I appreciate the kindness, Tori. It can be kind of lonely living alone these days. Well, considering I'm eating out of a microwave most nights, this is a real treat. Did that roommate of yours cook very often? What was her name? Brittany, wasn't it? Oh, we'd eat out more often than not. We were both pretty busy, you know? I understand, life can get pretty hectic nowadays. Life sure does move a lot faster than when I was your age. How long has it been since you last saw each other? I always remember she was so polite. We'd bump into each other nearly every morning as she was heading out the door for her morning jog. Ooh, super fitnessy. Okay, it's funny, the things you miss about a person can often be what you take for granted. The cruel parts that you never know you're doing it at this. Oh, okay. The cruel part is that you never know you're doing it at the time. But such is life, I suppose. Yeah, I guess. I don't know whether I'm supposed to say I miss her a lot or let's change subjects. I really do miss her quite a lot. It's been about a year since we last saw each other. I still don't feel the same. Believe me, I understand how you feel. When you're so close with someone, their absence can be hard to deal with. I won't lie to you. That sadness you feel now may never go away. You're luckier than I was, though. You still have an opportunity to mend the rift. You were mending the rift this morning. Okay, I'll leave it alone. Oh, I don't know about that. Life's changed a great deal for both of us since we parted ways. Brittany's not even in this city anymore, I don't think. Seems she wanted to get as far away from me as possible. A decision like that can be made in an instant, though. Who's to say what it really means? For all you know, Brittany could be regretting leaving just as much as you do. I'm not sure that's true. It ended rather rough. Okay, I'll just keep talking to her about it. Things between us ended rather roughly. There's a reason we don't talk. A lot of feelings were hurt, probably past repair. Be that as it may, you're not a mind reader, Tori. A good friendship like the one you had doesn't die so easily. Actions can be amended and feelings can be healed. The only thing that truly divides people is time apart. Oh, she's so smart and wise. Okay, you can't be so sure you know what's going on in someone else's heart unless you ask them yourself. I suppose you're right about the time apart dividing us. I'm not even sure if she's the same person anymore, to be honest. When I look at how much I've changed in the last year, I can't imagine Brittany stayed the same. Oh, you've changed less than you think, Tori. Call me a nosy neighbor, but I've watched you come and go in this building for a long while now. Tell me what you think is so different about you today versus a year ago. You want to know how I've changed since Brittany left? My work. I guess the thing that's changed the most is my work. I've made a lot of progress on my book. I mean, it's really starting to feel complete. Oh, I had no idea you were nearly done. Do you have a release date decided yet? Well, it's not quite that ready yet, I guess. There's still a bunch of it that needs revision, and I haven't really figured out the ending. Oh, I see. Not so different after all, then. No, I guess not. Being the same person you were a year ago doesn't have to be a bad thing unless you think it is. Don't forget, that's who Brittany was friends with in the first place. Yeah, but it's also who she left. Main course. So, how are you enjoying the stew? It's really quite good. What's the meat in this? That's fresh lamb. Ew, I couldn't eat that. Okay, I got it from the butcher this morning. Feel free to have as much as you want. I got used to making rather large pots of it. Every time I'd make it, my Thomas would eat at least 4 bowls just by himself. There were never any leftovers back in those days, I'm afraid. He sounds like quite the character. How'd you meet? Do you mind me asking how you and Thomas met? It's a funny story, actually. It happened the summer after I finished high school. He was working at a garage near my house, and my father hired him to fix our old jalopy. Oh, Thomas is cute! Oh, so is the old lady. Look at her. I wasn't working at the time, so when my father asked me to pick up the car for him, I had no choice. I didn't even have a license at the time, so I was terrified the whole day imagining myself getting it home. Well, that certainly sounds safe. How'd you get away with driving illegally like that? It was a different time back then. We didn't worry about little things like that. I was scared, but that wasn't going to stop me. I hated disappointing my father. So I showed up to the shop, scared out of my wits, and there he was. Covered in grease and sweat, a real man's man, if you know what I mean. Thomas could tell immediately I was clueless, and wait, a real man's man? Okay, Thomas could tell immediately I was clueless and must have asked me if I needed help a dozen times. I was stumbling over myself with how cute he was, so I just kept telling him I'd be fine. I wanted to get home as quickly as possible before I said or did something embarrassing. I was so distracted thinking about him that I crashed straight into a stop sign barely 20 feet away. No. That's a really nice car for back then. Thomas, the sweetheart, charged right over to see if I was okay. There wasn't a scratch on me, but the car was in pretty rough shape. I was terrified I'd get in trouble with my father. He'd have been so mad to find out what happened. Thomas, seeing my dismay, offered to fix it for free and tell my father he needed more time with it to keep me from trouble. What was your life like? What was your life like with Thomas? Okay, well, it wasn't perfect, but they were by far the best years of my life. I'd trade all the ones I've got left for just one more lazy summer afternoon with him. Aww. They're so cute. When we were young and everything was new to us, all we needed was our love. It didn't matter that we were poor or hungry, as long as we had each other, we were happier than pigs in mud. We had such grand dreams for our life. We planned to travel the world together, see exotic places as a pair. Aww. Eventually, though, the bills started piling up, and so Thomas started working longer hours to make ends meet. There were times when we'd have debt collectors knocking our door. knocking our door. Okay, knocking our door, and I wasn't sure we'd make it. I thought myself foolish for being so idealistic in our youth. Reality hit us a lot harder than we expected. I resented him working so much, even though I knew it was necessary for us to survive. He would be frustrated with every mistake I made, fearing how far it had set us back. The stress of it all would cause us to fight over the most ridiculous things as we scraped by. No. Still, our love was strong enough that our tension always faded once we vented. Good. We'd always make up and vowed to double down on our efforts to make our dreams together come true. We slogged away, hoping we'd have a few extra pennies to put away at the end of the month, but we never got far. As we got older, things got easier, but we were too tired and beat to do anything about it. So you just gave up on your own dream like that? We were comfortable and happy together. Eventually we realized that's all we really wanted. It didn't matter where we were or what we were doing, just as long as we were together. Besides, it's more than a little impractical just packing up your life to chase a silly ideal like that. Sometimes I regret it though, especially when I wonder where we might have been when they started enlisting. When I think about it, it's hard not getting angry at myself for not trying harder. But then, how were we to know? I'm sorry, it's a very painful subject for me. So Thomas was drafted in the war? Should I just... She said it's a painful subject. I don't know that I should keep talking about it. Okay, I'll just keep talking. How did he die? Apologies if it's a touchy subject, which she already said it was, but how did Thomas die? I don't really like talking about it, but it's a fair question, all things considered. It just makes me very sad to talk about. I'd really rather not. I can only imagine how painful those memories are. Never mind. Never mind the question then. Forget I said anything. Thank you, Tori. Let's try and focus on the happy times today. Yeah, sure, no problem. Dessert. I just love ice cream, don't you? You don't hear me complaining. I've had a really nice time this evening. I'm very happy you decided to come by. Oh, it's no trouble at all. I'm glad I came too. Still, I want to thank you for spending your time with me tonight, so I have something for you. What's this? These are my husband's baseball cards. He used to collect them when he was a boy. Some of them are quite old. They're probably worth quite a bit of money. I want you to have one of them as a token of my appreciation. You can keep it as a memento, or I'm sure someone will be happy to pay you for it. You can't be serious, can you? Please, I know how much you could use the money right now, and they're not doing me any good. They just sit in the box. I can't even bring myself to look at them anymore. I won't take no as an answer from you, so don't even make a fuss about it. I just don't trust myself not to get all weepy if I see which one you're taking, so I want you to pick by the time I return from the washroom. Just close up the box when you're done, and we won't say another word about it, understand? Yeah, I understand. Alright then, I'll be back in a moment. I don't think I should sell the card. Wow, these cards are really ancient. I bet they'd all be worth a small fortune to the right collector. I couldn't do that to Miss Tollweger, though. Could I? Then I wasted time. I don't get any money. I guess it's not all about money. I will just take no cards. I can't do it. I know I'll probably regret this later, but I can't do it. It just doesn't feel right. I'm sure I'll pull through some other way. I hope I made the right decision. Thanks again for having me over, Mrs. Tellweger. You're more than welcome. You're such a good kid. Here, take this with you. Some leftovers from dinner to eat later. You received leftover stew. A young person like you needs to eat. Well, it won't pay my bills, but it's better than eating junk food. Thank you very much. You take care of yourself and have a good night. It's getting late, so I'm off to bed. Alright then, good night. I'm probably gonna have to sleep outside on that mattress. Oh, this sucks. No. Just let me back in. It's getting pretty late and I'm beat. I should count up my pennies and see if I can get my rent paid. Between the 100 I've got in my wallet and the 13 stored in my bank, I've got a grand total of 113 available to pay rent. It's not enough to get me back in my bed. Maybe I can scrounge together a few more bucks, but it looks like I'll be sleeping under the stars tonight. I better go and find a comfy street mattress. No! Just let me try to get in there. My key is useless now. Yeah, it is.